The 1990s gave us some genuinely wild inventions, products that companies bet millions on, gadgets that were supposed to change everything. And then they just vanished. Some failed because they were too early, others because they were genuinely terrible. Stick around for number 4. It literally gave people headaches. Number 1. The Apple Newton message pad. This was supposed to be the future of computing. In 1993, Apple CEO John Sculley unveiled what he proudly called the personal digital assistant. $700 got you a touchscreen that stored contacts, managed your calendar, and recognized your handwriting. Apple invested over $100 million in development. This was going to replace paper notebooks forever. Here's the problem. The handwriting recognition was absolutely terrible. You'd write a simple note and get back gibberish. The Simpsons parodied it perfectly. A bully writes "beat up Martin," and the Newton displays "eat up Martha." Doonesbury mocked it for an entire week. The phrase "egg freckles" became shorthand for everything wrong with the device. Users felt genuinely betrayed by Apple's hype. The results were catastrophic. Apple sold just 50,000 units in the first 3 months. They'd expected 1 million in the first year. Total lifetime sales barely hit 300,000. When Steve Jobs returned in 1997, he killed the Newton immediately. Discontinued February 1998. But here's the real twist. Those painful lessons eventually led Apple straight to the iPhone. Sometimes your biggest failure plants the seeds for your biggest success. Number 2. Microsoft Bob. This is what happens when a software company tries too hard. In March 1995, Microsoft released a $99 program designed to make computers friendly for beginners. Instead of a desktop, you got an animated house. Click the calendar on the wall to open your calendar. A cartoon dog named Rover guided you through tasks. Microsoft expected millions. Here's what actually happened. Critics called it patronizing and childish. The New York Times said the design looked like work from an aesthetically challenged 6th grader. Bob required 8 megabytes of RAM to run. Most home computers didn't have that. The friendly interface crawled on machines people actually owned. More confusing than regular Windows, not less. The damage was swift. Microsoft sold just 58,000 copies total, discontinued after barely 1 year. PC World ranked it among the 25 worst tech products ever. CNET called it the worst product of the decade. Melinda Gates later admitted the software needed more powerful computers than people owned. But Bob refused to die quietly. It spawned Clippy, the office assistant everyone hated, and Comic Sans. Vincent Conner designed that font for Rover's speech bubbles. Some failures keep giving. Number 3. The iOmega zip drive. If you had one, you already know the sound. Launched in 1994, the zip drive was revolutionary. $200 for the drive, $20 per disc. Each disc held 100 megabytes compared to the floppy's pathetic 1.44. Students, designers, and businesses went all in. Dell and Apple made them standard. iOmega's value exploded from $141 million to $1.7 billion in 3 years. Then came the click of death, a rhythmic clicking one that meant your drive was failing. Misaligned read-write heads would destroy both the drive and whatever disk you inserted. Roughly 1% of drives were affected. Sounds small until you realize that translated to millions of users losing everything. Worse, a bad drive could infect good discs. iOmega knew about the problem since 1996. Customer support cost $15 to $20 per call. A class action lawsuit hit in September 1998 and settled in 2001. By then, CD burners had become affordable and offered better capacity. The zip drive's reputation never recovered. Discontinued by 2003, iOmega eventually got absorbed into Lenovo. The drive designed to protect your precious data became infamous for destroying it. That clicking sound still haunts people. Number 4. The Nintendo Virtual Boy. This thing literally came with health warnings. In August 1995, Nintendo launched a $179 virtual reality console created by Gunpei Yokoi, the genius behind the Game Boy. It promised immersive 3D gaming through a binocular headset. Blockbuster stocked 750,000 units for rental. Nintendo was betting big on the future of gaming. Here's the terrifying part. The display was monochrome red and black only. A color version would have cost over $500. Users reported headaches, dizziness, nausea, and eye strain. The packaging warned about potential seizures and vision damage in children under 7. Nintendo built in automatic pauses every 15 minutes to rest your eyes. You had to lean forward into a heavy headset mounted on a tripod, causing neck pain. Only 22 games were ever made. The Virtual Boy sold just 770,000 units. Nintendo's worst-selling console ever. The price dropped to $99 within months. Discontinued after barely 1 year. Blockbuster dumped their rental units for $50 each. Nintendo chairman Howard Lincoln admitted flatly that it just failed. A VR headset that hurt to use, displayed one color, and warned of brain damage. Virtual reality wouldn't recover for 20 years. Number 5. Divx discs. The DVD you were supposed to throw away. In June 1998, Circuit City launched their pay-per-view disc format. $4.50 got you 48 hours of viewing, then the disc simply died. Your player phoned home to charge fees. Disney, Fox, and Paramount initially backed it. Players cost $4.99, double regular DVD player prices. Consumers absolutely hated it. You were buying something you didn't actually own. Special players couldn't even play regular DVDs properly. At launch, Divx offered 50 titles. DVD already had over 5,000. Online polls showed 97% disapproval. 86% said they'd reject it even if it were free. Blockbuster refused to carry the discs. Circuit City sold just 87,000 players during the 1998 holidays. Only 17,000 active accounts were ever created. Discontinued June 1999, 1 year after launch. Circuit City lost $114 million after taxes. Total losses reached $337 million. The failure contributed directly to their 2008 bankruptcy, a format so universally despised that its collapse became a business school case study. Circuit City bet everything on making you pay over and over for movies you already bought. Number 6. The TigerGame.com. They actually thought this could beat Nintendo. In September 1997, Tiger Electronics released a $69 handheld that promised everything. A touchscreen, which was revolutionary for the time. Internet connectivity via modem. PDA functions like a calendar and address book. Licensed games, including Resident Evil 2 and Sonic Jam. Tiger wanted gamers and professionals. They partnered with Sega and Hasbro. The execution was disastrous. The screen quality was so bad you could barely see what you were playing. Internet access required a separate modem and a landline connection. Touch responsiveness was terrible. The game library shrank to just 21 titles. Those licensed games were embarrassingly inferior to their console versions. Classic Game Room called it one of the worst consoles of all time. Tiger sold approximately 300,000 units, a commercial disaster. They released a Pocket Pro revision in 1999 that also flopped. The line was quietly discontinued by 2000. Hasbro had acquired Tiger in 1998 for $335 million and immediately shifted focus to Furby instead. Tiger threw everything at this thing: touchscreen, internet, games, productivity tools. Turns out doing everything poorly is worse than doing nothing at all. 6 inventions that companies poured millions into. 6 products that promised to change how we lived. And 6 spectacular flames out that we've mostly forgotten. But here's the thing. Some of these failures directly led to technology we can't live without today. The Newton became the iPhone. Bob became Cortana. Even the Virtual Boy proved people wanted VR. Just not that VR. If you enjoyed this trip through tech history, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.